week. All right, we're looking to do this tomorrow. We're doing this tomorrow because it's gonna create quite a mess in the fryer, but we're ready to go. I finally got myself some chicken thighs for us to do this. All right, so what you guys are going through today is butchering up the chicken to make sure we have a good cleanup. All right, so we don't have raw chicken anywhere, and then we'll be better positioned for tomorrow. All right, when you guys break down your chicken today, you're gonna be putting it in this bag for me. All right, so we gotta make sure that we label this. And I got to know that it's A or B. So I'm just saying that I'm 4-6A, Novello. And I'm going to show you what a pound looks like. Okay, this is going to go in the back machine into the cryovac. So if you don't know, that machine basically vacuum seals. Make sure your sticker's down low because this part here is going to get sucked in. It's going to go like that. These things are way more affordable than Ziploc bags. Okay, they're all gonna get stacked up over here when the time comes. So we're gonna have one person butchering, touching all the raw chicken, while the other person has to get the everything done that has clean hands. Now the butchering person, you're gonna be out here. You're gonna be on this side where Haley's standing, so you don't have anyone bumping into you from behind, even though the knives are on the other side. Things you guys need to know about for the chicken, if you don't recall, we cut on yellows. Okay, so please bring me a yellow board from over there, Nico. Because all the yellow boards are kept in one spot. Thanks, John. So, when we get you guys out your yellow board, you guys do all your cutting on that. But remember that you guys got to get this down to the pit and get washed. And we're going to max out 3. 3 to the 3. All right, so what I'm saying is, can we have another board, please? Again? Another yellow board. Y'all need to put only 3 at a time, okay? Like this. So there's arms coming up and arms coming down. We do it one time and then we flip it. And if you guys don't understand, this hook is how I can carry it from A to B, not suitcasing it underneath like a mattress when you are moving stuff. All right, so these boards got to get down and get washed properly. You guys should recall that there's a rack like this down there waiting for it. So when they're done, they go in. So far, so good? All right, 2 things can sanitize, heat or chemical. If this goes through 185-degree rinse water, and especially twice, this has been sanitized with heat. You got me? This is sanitizer. I'm not gonna drink this. That'd be kind of fun. But this is a ratio of a sanitizer that air dries. So if we wash these and didn't have a dishwasher available, you spray this and then you let it air dry. You don't wipe it off, you just let it go. So anyone who works in restaurants probably know about these sort of sprays that you put down on surfaces and you air dry. That's how they sanitize. Okay, on camera we'll tell you though, some of the fast food places, when you get the food trays, just wipe it off with a nasty towel. You don't want to eat off those trays. All right, so you guys understand the sanitizer? This is something that I need to mix to make sure it's not too concentrated. It could burn your skin. All right, and so anyone who's working around chemicals, make sure you've been trained properly. I've had kids show me, this is on camera, chemical burns all up and down their arms. Okay, and like, what happened? That's what's going on with the dishwashing at work. I'm like, that is not right. You need to speak to them about that. Okay, so protect yourselves. So you guys understand the spray, yes? All right, so we're not using the spray on these because they're gonna go in the dishwasher twice. All right, next, you guys have potential. I'm gonna use one of these. Sorry. You guys have, so this is our special rack. We need another one. You guys have access, if you choose to the safety gloves. But we don't have 20 of these. And the reason why you had to wear these last time, remember, is that you were cutting things at an angle down your finger. Now you can get away without wearing it. You probably want to wear gloves so you're not touching chicken with your raw hands. So far, so good? Yes? Okay. And we got that. Let's talk about your chicken now. This bowl, I'm gonna be portioning out and show you what I'm looking for. All right, we need 1.5 pounds or 2. And if we have the same bowl that is set to 0, then I just swap out the bowls. All right, so if it's like 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1.5 pounds, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, I'm gonna lay these all out like a blackjack dealer. When you're 21, that'll make sense. Okay, so is that at 0? There you go. Let's talk about your chicken thighs. This is a case of meat. It's chicken, so guess what I put it on? Chicken board, and nobody cares. Okay? But people don't want chicken mixed in with their beef. What does this cook to? 165. What's beef cooked to? 145. So when I go to Sam's, they purposefully do not go and set this on top of the beef, because if there's chicken juices, you contaminate something. When I buy pork from them, there are people who choose not to eat pork. They do not put pork around any other meat because you might be mixing the two meats. All right? Now, to get you guys deep into this, we like chicken to be just above the freezing point, 28 to 32. There's nothing wrong with freezing chicken, okay, so long as it's frozen properly. The quicker you freeze something, the smaller the ice crystals and less it disrupts flesh, okay? So basically, it's when water freezes and expands, it's gonna pop holes into the cell. Now, I'm not guaranteeing this, but just kind of saying, if you go pick up a package of meat, especially steaks, and you see a bunch of red juices, that suggests that it was previously what? Frozen. Is it gonna be the same quality? Probably not, because some of those juices came out. Doesn't mean it's unsafe to eat, so long as it went from freezer to fridge. You follow me? Okay, so on our chicken, we've got boneless, skinless thighs. So I don't have to give you guys a diagram. You know the thighs down on the leg. All right, this is darker meat because it's been worked muscle. So only muscles that get worked are going to be darker in color. If you have chickens who are cooped up in a pen who don't get a chance to fly and move around, their breast meat is what? White. Has anyone ever had wild duck, like mallard, like you're a hunter, someone else is? The breast meat is all dark meat because that duck has flown hundreds and hundreds of miles to migrate. Okay, so the dark meat, a little bit more flavor, and the dark meat for the chicken thigh, a little bit more fat around it. And what we like about that is fat is flavor and fat is moisture. So you can do this dish with boneless, skinless breast, but it's leaner, and so it's gonna dry out easier. And you can't deal with boneless, skinless breasts when there are no boneless, skinless breasts available in the store. So I waited to get these, and now we have them. Real quick on the chicken, this says sell by March 24th. Okay? Sell by March 24th. What's the date today? 20 what? 21st. So sell it by the 24th. All right? If you're not going to use it by then, you better get it in the freezer. Sam's is really good about this, and I'm sure Town and Country the same. If you ever open up meat and you feel like it's tainted and wrong, go back and get a refund. I learned early on, like I had a bad piece of pork and I froze it and I brought it down in a bag with a receipt, and they're like, you don't need to bring the meat back. We believe you. So will people possibly scandalously try to get I guess. Okay? But here's the deal on our chicken. It's March 24th. Now bear with me so you get an idea of what it is you're eating. This is chicken, okay? Very limited shelf life. They often pack it on ice to keep it cold, all right? If you had boneless beef, boneless, you have 45 days from the day it got slaughtered and put into package until you eat it. We call that the shelf life, 45 days of meat in the bag. That's a long time. If it's bone-in beef, you have 30 days because the bone is potential for contamination. If you have pork, regardless, okay, it's 28 days. It's a lot less. Chicken, you only get a few days. It speaks to possibly the nature of the animal and how quickly it's going to spoil. Does that make sense? All right, you got to know this so you know how to rotate your product. These should be FIFO, first in, first out. The stuff they put on top is the stuff they're trying to sell you right away. But if someone's just throwing meat in the case, they don't rotate product, then know how to read dates and know how long stuff lasts and buy the stuff you want. My personal opinion, if you do that, just don't throw things around and leave a mess. All right, chicken may have a little bit of smell when you first open it up. Okay, a little bit, a sulfury smell. And you gotta work with me. So once I open this drawer, I don't want to touch anything else. You gotta work with me to know what meat is gonna smell like. All right, so when these come out, they should be boneless, skinless. They got the thighs on it. The bone's been taken out. Okay, there's a little bit of fat. We're not gonna spend time trimming all that off because that is flavor. All right, you're gonna see kind of an absorbent pad in there, but we're just basically trying to get you guys your portion. All right, so that is 16. Now, whatever I put this on, I got to realize I contaminated. Even though it's in a package, this whole table is contaminated. So what I'm going to have you guys do is basically cut this into pieces that are about 1/2 inch to 3/4 an inch cubed. All right, now there's one board and one person at a time. Okay, do not share a board. And the person who's not butchering, just be patient and wait. Fair enough? Now I'm going to say that we don't do a lot of cutting. See how quick this is going through? These knives just got sharpened last week. Well, 2 weeks ago, I take that back. But mine haven't been used. So as easy as this is going through the chicken thigh, it's going to potentially go through your what? Finger the same. So let's not do that. All right. But here's what I want you guys to have an appreciation for. Is that you may be nervous about having someone stand next to you while you're using a knife. Yeah? So give them space. Don't be all hovering, breathing down their neck. But commercial meatpacking industry, you're elbow to elbow working in your small little space with repetitive cuts over and over and over and over. Can we have that bag? So here's where it gets a little tricky. That one, what did I say this was, a pound? Let's see if this is gonna fit inside without Haley getting stuff on her hands. See that? You gotta work small and clean. Did you get stuff all over your hands?
No.
Can you get, and do you have stuff on the top 2 inches that's gonna get inside my machine?
No.
Then you guys can do the same, right? Okay, so you guys understand how we're gonna cut it up, get it there?